Hello and welcome to Morgan Park Raceway for round 5 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul. We are here 2.5 hours south of Brisbane in the beautiful Southern Downs region of Queensland at Warwick. This town is well known for its Tudor and 17th century buildings, but this weekend will be charged with providing classic racing action. Also, a big shout out this weekend to Kate Peck, who can't be here because she's in Mongolia riding motorcycles, but Steve Martin and myself have managed to draft in a very worthy replacement, Grand Prix winner and World Supersport champion, Chris Vermeulen. Chris, welcome.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Great to be here. I've really enjoyed, as a Queenslander, coming to a home round. But the track is pretty cool. It puts on good action from the juniors, you know, improving every session. And then we've seen lap records broken in the top class Superbike guys. So it's been cool, but race day now, Steve. It's all down. The money's on the line right now, right?
Oh, it certainly is. And what a great amount of experience we've got having Chris here this weekend to help us out. So thanks for coming along, mate.
Well, there's plenty more action coming up here. Michelin SuperSport up next, but the best thing about the Michelin SuperSport Championship this year is the mix of experienced riders and also youngsters that are all vying for the title.
It's been fantastic to see such a close championship in the Michelin SuperSport title this year. We got 3 riders really close at the top of that championship. I was lucky enough with a few rounds to go to sit down with those guys. Ollie Simpson currently leading the Supersport Championship. I bet that sounds pretty good, eh? Current leader of the Australian Supersport Championship.
Yeah, it's definitely the place to be. Yeah, that's.
How is it going?
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, yeah, well, leading, so it's going definitely according to plan so far. It's been a steep learning curve for me. Yeah, being only like my second year on the bike, so still learning every time I ride, but so far so good. Yeah.
It looks like it's a close championship. Mistakes could make the difference. So is it consistency your plan, or do you want to go out and win them all?
Yeah, well, I think that's the key, is literally consistency. You've nailed it right there. Yeah, you could finish 4th every race, and I think you'll be able to do it. But as long as you're up there all the time, yeah, you'll be able to win it, I reckon. Yeah.
What's the strengths and weaknesses of your competitors? Where have you got it over them?
They're all really good. I mean, it's tough. I mean, Cameron Dunker's obviously really good because he's new to the class and he's obviously getting better every time he rides the bike. Yeah, even Ty, like, he's another SA, and obviously we've got Taylor Men coming up towards the end there, so he's going to be fast there as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's literally, it's as close as it's going to get, so yeah, I can't pinpoint it.
I'm here with Ty Lynch, second in the Australian Supersport Championship at the moment. Second, a bit of a common thing, eh? You were runner-up last year.
Yeah, look, runner-up last year, and yeah, trying not to be the bridesmaid again. That's the most important part. So we came in with the objective this year to be up the front and dominate, and we started off the season with running essentially, and then yeah, I've made some mistakes and made a few counterintuitive decisions across the year, but so far so good, and we're just keeping the head down.
It's interesting, the top 3 guys, it's very close between you. You're probably the most experienced out of the 3 of them. Is that an advantage? Where does that help you, basically?
I think, yeah, just because I've got the most experience doesn't always mean a lot, because you got someone like Cameron who's only 15, and he's hungry, and he will do whatever it takes.
Cameron Dunker, 3rd place in the Australian Supersport Championship at the moment. Rookie this year in the Supersport class. First of all, I wanted you to tell us, you've come from a 300 Supersport bike onto this 600. I mean, the horsepower step, there's a weight increase, much more torque, better tyres. What's been the hardest thing for you to learn and adapt and get used to?
I think in the start was the speed.
Yep.
And the grunt off the corners I wasn't used to. Like on the 300, you just hold it flat and just pretty much hang on, really. But this, you got to sort of muscle it around a bit more, and I like that aspect of it because it feels like, so it's not more so about slipstream or anything, but yeah, I mean, I've adapted pretty good this year, so.
No, very good. Like I said, you've won a couple of races already. You're challenging for this championship. What's the future hold for you? What's your goal, Cam? I know there's a lot of people talking about you, the youngest Supersport winner. You're riding the Ovales in another championship at the moment as well. What's the target? What's the future hold? I'm
not sure as yet, but I mean, every rider wants to be a world champion, and that's where I want to be. But yeah, we just play it by ear, and I know if we get offered a ride somewhere, then we'll jump on it. But at the moment, we're just sticking to like this year and just trying to learn as much as we can.
Well, it looks like you're doing a great job, mate. We wish you all the best for the championship. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, Troy Herfoss and Mike Jones know a lot about this circuit. 2 other people that know a lot about it, Steve Martin and Chris Vermeulen, about to give you all of the details of Morgan Park Raceway.
fantastic to have Chris from Newland with us at the Honda Track Preview. Chris, this is a place that you've seen before. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Morgan Park, tight, twisty, exciting for superbikes. What, about 2.1 kilometres long? Should we go and have a look?
Let's do it. If one person knows about commitment, Chris, it's got to be you. And turn 3 requires a lot of that.
It requires commitment and bravery, Steve, because you crest the hill and it's blind the whole way. Entry, on the way through, you can't see the line on the exit, and you got that concrete wall on the inside. I mean, Mike Jones's head was nearly touching the wall when we were watching him out there. So it is spectacular. Difficult to get that corner right, but it can set you up for turn 4, which is a great passing opportunity.
The run down the hill into Motul, well, that's another animal in itself.
Completely different animal, hard on the brakes, a few little bumps, you are downhill. It's probably where you push the front tyre, one of the hardest places on this track, so easy to lose the front on the way in, but great passing opportunity, and it is a really, really tight hairpin.
A common theme of this circuit is all the riders are talking about how physical it is, and through Pirelli and into Honda is some of the most physical parts of this track.
It is, isn't it, Stephen? You can see there's no straight parts. They go left to right, one corner leads into the next, and if you mess one up, it really messes up your whole lap because you're compromising 2 or 3 corners. Also, a lot of these corners are a similar speed, so if you can get your gearing perfect to be in those corners, you're going to have an advantage over a lot of corners.
And let's not forget that braking into Honda, definitely a place to watch for overtaking. One thing we haven't touched on, Chris, is how tight and bumpy this circuit is, except for where we are right now.
You're exactly right. It is tight and bumpy, Steve, but right here, this is the fastest part of the track. Used to be the bumpiest part of the track, but now they've resurfaced it. So you've got a brand new, sort of smooth billiard table. It's bravery, it's fast flowing through here. Hard to make a move though, Steve.
Well, nobody told Wayne Maxwell that last year though, did they?
That was a very cool move.
This track provides an interesting run to the finish line.
It is, like, I called it a chicane before, Steve. You corrected me. They are S's. They're fast and flowing. It also is it's a big crest coming uphill. When you lift the bike up and start accelerating, difficult to stop it wheeling, but it is a long run to that finish line. So it is an opportunity to make the pass. If you get that wrong, the guy can get past you before the checkered flag.
It certainly is an exciting lap here at Morgan Park, and that wraps up our Honda Track Preview.
Five riders have actually taken a victory so far in the 6 races we've had in the Supersport Championship. Ty Lynch has taken 1 win. We've also seen Cameron Dunker with 2 wins. Harry Voigt has taken 2 wins as well. Sean Condon, who is unfortunately out with injury, has also taken a win as well, along with Ollie Simpson. But yesterday it was Hayden Nelson who sat out qualifying 2 after setting a blistering lap in qualifying 1, and he will start from pole position, joined on the front row of the grid with 50 start man Ty Lynch and Cameron Dunker.
Tom Bramich starts row 2 from that 4th position with Jonathan Nolis just behind him. John Littris, last year's champion, in 6th.
Yeah, John Littris was fastest in all of the practice sessions but couldn't put it together in qualifying. Today's going to be a big day for him. Ollie Simpson, Dallas Skier and Glenn Nelson start out of row 3 with Scott Nicholson, crazy Jake Farnsworth and Reece Orchard back there on row 4.
Harbin Walker, Jack Passfield and Jack Favell on row 5. And row 6 is Luca Durning, Declan Carberry from South Australia and Benny Baker.
Yeah, Benny Baker having a very difficult weekend this weekend. It's, well, not all of your weekends where you do good are learning weekends, and this will be a learning weekend for Ben Baker on board bike number 72, that's for sure. But as they make their way back towards the grid, Steve, I am really starting to get excited. Michelin SuperSport category this year has provided some great racing action, and I really feel that this weekend we could be seeing 2 of the best races that we've seen all year, with a bit of a mix-up at the front, and Hayden Nelson on the 279 machine taking his first ever pole position in the SuperSport category.
14 laps around here, it's going to be tough.
So ready to go racing. You can see Tom Bramich there on the Apex Group, the Bear Bird machine, bike number 44. He's had a big improve this weekend as well. They've been working very hard. His crew chief, Dougie Bloomer, said that they're looking pretty good for race distance this weekend as Sam Phillips leaves the front of the grid. Michelin SuperSport is go. Great start from everyone there on the first couple of rows of the grid, but Ollie Simpson from the 3rd row is flying through the field. He said he always gets good starts. He's going to get sandwiched as they get towards turn 1 though, and he gets run out a fraction wide on the all-yellow Simpson crash machine, but he's made a pretty good start from the 3rd row of the grid as they go underneath the bridge, and his Dunker up into 2nd place. Let's have a look to see where our pole sitter is. He's out in front.
Yeah, good move there. And you can always see Ty Lynch. He's always sideways as he heads down the hill in the modal corner there. But Hayden Nelson, first pole and leads the way.
Well, Cameron Dunker has just got the better of him out of that corner and down through Pirelli, but he's now Ty Lynch that's made his way through, and I think this is more of what we're going to see for the next 14 laps, Steve, as Ty Lynch on board bike number 85. He didn't take too long to suck it and see what was going to happen. He's charged his way to the front.
I tell you what, it's pretty hard to overtake there too. That was a big move early on by Ty Lynch, but I think he's shown his intentions in this one.
Well, the great thing is we've got the battle because we've got Michelin leading from Pirelli. There's also Dunlop's back there. I think Tarbin Walker on board bike number 21 is one of the Dunlop runners in this class as Tom ProMX goes up the inside of Ollie Simpson at the bottom of the hill through Michelin as they start the charge up the hill for the first time and through Yamaha Financial Services chicane and then out onto Ducati corner at the end of that very fast chicane that takes us back to the start-finish area on the MotorsportsTV Motorcycle Insurance start-finish straight.
Cam Dunker, I reckon, just went past and takes the lead again. So Cam Dunker takes the lead from Ty Lynch. Impressive first lap from Ty Lynch, though. Cam Dunker went past him like he was standing still on the straight.
What was that? 4 overtakes or 4 lead changes we saw in the first lap of this race. And it is Dunker that still leads. Ty Lynch, you see the front end bouncing up and down.
Oh.
Tom ProMX up the inside of Pole Sitter Nelson. Coming through as well is Ollie Simpson on board bike number 44. Oh, so much action in the first lap and a half, Steve.
I tell you what, Bramich has made his way up to that 3rd position now, so he is on a roll. And I'll tell you what, he's got confidence in that 600 now, so he will be dangerous.
Yeah, he's running an suspension combination as Ty Lynch. That's the 2nd time he's done an overtaking manoeuvre at that corner. They're going to rename that one Ty Lynch corner by the end of today.
My goodness, I feel that he had a crash there in practice too, but it hasn't slowed him down, that's for sure. So Ty Lynch, very strong on the front end. That is a place where you wouldn't expect to overtake, but we've got a faller there.
That's Nelson. Glenn Nelson on board bike number 9 has gone down.
Yeah, from 7th. So unfortunately for Nelson, races over, loss of adhesion and slides out, but it looks like he's okay. Hopefully they can get that one running for next time.
Was that down at Michelin corner turn 10, I think at the bottom of the hill before they start the run up through the chicane as Dunker tries to go up the inside of the late braking Ty Lynch. Well, you're going to have to get up pretty early in the morning, Steve, if you think you're going to outbrake Ty Lynch into a tight corner.
Absolutely. Ty with a little bit of a break now over Dunker in that 2nd position. Just remember though, we're running on the new grip of these tyres. Look at Lynch, he's just laying it on the line. Simpson up to 3rd now. The championship between the leader and the man in 3rd place at the moment.
Yeah, that was a big move there from Ollie Simpson, repaying the earlier move on him by bike number 44, Tom Bramich. Pole Sitter Nelson sitting back there in 5th position, just well placed early on in this race, as there's been plenty of dusting up going on as we see a AMX Superstores replay now as they come down through the bottom of the hill. This will be the Nelson incident. It was actually before Michelin corner turn 10. That was only at turn 9. And that would be the fastest corner on this circuit.
When you say only at turn 9, it's...
that he hadn't got to turn 10.
Well, no, it is very quick there. Just lost the front. He's making his way back to the pits. The race is over for him. He's okay, but you can just see there the guys are coming. Scott Nicholson's also gone down, but resumed.
Yeah, that was at turn 1. As we focus our attention back to the lead of this race. We're on lap 3 of the 14-lap journey. It's still Ty Lynch that leads, but close behind, it's the 2 young chargers, Cameron Dunker and Ollie Simpson, and another very experienced rider right behind them, Tom Bramich, on board bike number 44 as they make their way up and underneath the iconic Morgan Park Raceway bridge and down Motul and into this, well, one of the trickiest corners on the circuit, Steve, because it comes right back on itself. It would be, what, about 120, 130 degree corner. Very tricky to negotiate, and a few bumps in there as well.
Yeah, it certainly is. This track is quite bumpy around the place, so the guys have to set the bike up for the bumps, and there's only that one smooth section through that Dunlop corner there. It's, where they've resurfaced it, so the guys get a little bit of a respite, but it's at the fastest part of the circuit. Passfeld there, number 42, just had his foot out for a second. Not sure what that was about. Took his foot off the foot peg deliberately to indicate something.
Well, just having a look at the lap times, the fastest lap in this race is a 15.766 on lap 3 for Ollie Simpson. The lap record, though, is a 15.045 set by Tom Taparis back in 2019. That would have been when the track was probably at one of its bumpiest stages as well, as Ty Lynch still leads. But here comes Simpson, fastest man in the race. He's now going up into 2nd place. on board bike number 45. So Ollie Simpson with that brand new helmet design this weekend. If you get a chance to have a look at it, it is one of the best helmet designs I've seen. And Ollie Simpson really on a charge now on the Simpson crash machine. Dunker tries to repay the favourite, sliding down the inside. Oh, Cameron Dunker, you said about Ty Lynch having faith in the front end. Well, what about Dunker there?
I tell you what, though, that was as smooth as you like. He didn't even look like he was trying when he ripped up the inside there, Cam Dunker. A real good job. Oh, is that Dallas Skier?
Yep, I think that is Dallas Skier on board bike number 86.
Oh, that's Ty Lynch.
Ty Lynch is down on the exit of, is that the Honda corner?
Yeah, he was pushing the front of that bike real hard. He knew he was under pressure, trying to get it going, maybe get some points, but it's a very strong field, so he'd be lucky to get any points, but he's got to try.
Well, what that's done is it's put all of the young hard chargers and Tom Bramage up into this lead group of 5. Look who is on a march forward. I hate to tell you, Steve, but bike number 1, the local man, John Littress, who has done 1,000,000 laps around this circuit, is now up into 4th place, and he's got the pole man, Hayden Nelson, right behind him on board bike number 279. But keep your eye out on bike number 1 now. Littress on the all-white machine, the reigning champion. This is where he got that championship challenge really rocking last year at Morgan Park, and he's now on a charge to try and take another race win in the Supersport category.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows what it's like to win here. As you said, Phil, he had a little bit of bad luck last year, but he did get on the podium too, and I think he won one. So this man, he'll be wanting to win. He's had a pretty average year so far, so to win here could put his championship back on track.
He's had 2 podiums at the first round of the year, but then has gone missing in action. A replay of Ty Lynch's crash. It was very late in the corner.
It was.
And you can see Cameron Dunker and Ollie Simpson had to get out of the throttle there on the way out of the corner when Ty Lynch lost control.
He was in there very, very hot. So, you know, you can't get in there that hot. It was a long way around the corner that he lost it, but nevertheless, it is bumpy around the exit of that corner too.
Well, unfortunately, Jack Passfield's difficult weekend is not getting any easier. He's got a mechanical problem on board bike number 42, the Stay Upright Rider training machine, and that is the end of the race for him, it looks like, as well. So he'll be coming out in race number 2 this afternoon, looking to get the challenge back on track. But it is Dunker, Simpson, Bramage, Littress and Nelson that are your top 5, and they have a gap of about 2 odd seconds over Jonathan Nalos, who is back there in 6th position at the moment on board bike number 20.
Simpson up the inside. Good move by him into the Alpine Stars corner there. He just lined up Dunker and made it happen. And the reason he made it happen was because the lap times seemed to be slowing down a decent amount with Dunker in front. Back into the 15s that time round.
Yeah, we're half race distance, lap 7 of lap 14. We're heading down through the tricky part of the section now. This is the area of the circuit that claimed Ty Lynch. It was on the exit of this corner here where we saw Lynch go down. It is Littress that leads at the moment, but you know who's looking pretty good at the moment is Tom Bramage.
Yeah.
His bike's looking in pretty good form, and he looks like he's just sitting there letting these 2 young riders do a little bit of the legwork out front.
Absolutely, and that is why he's won so many Australian championships, because he knows that he needs to conserve himself until later in the race, and you know, he's just looking nice and smooth there, sitting in that 3rd position. No point wasting energy, because if you've got more energy at the end, you're going to have a better chance of attacking.
As we start lap 12, it is Nelson that currently leads as we go back through the field to see a good battle there between Jack Favell and Luca Durning. Jack Favell, one of the only Hondas out there in the field on board bike number 33, and Luca Durning on the Addicted to Track machine, board bike number 12. One of the many Yamaha YZF R6s in this field. As the marshals go running, that means that someone has crashed down there at Motor Corner.
Yeah, let's see if we can figure out who that is.
That's Tom Bramage.
Oh, no.
It's Tom Bramage on board bike number 44.
Let's hope he can get that bike going. Looks like he's struggling to get it going. It didn't look damaged, but it said, you know, he has crashed, so unfortunate for
And he's now down to a lead group of 4 with Cameron Dunker trying to find a way up the inside of Nelson at Michelin Corner, turn 10 at the bottom of the hill. They charge their way up through Yamaha and Ducati now and come out to complete another lap onto the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start-finish straight. It is Nelson that still leads. Dunker goes around the outside and gets the running down. How did he do that, Steve?
Great drive out of the final turn is how he did that. Runs a little bit wide, holds it though. And these two youngsters are going at it with Ollie Simpson now. Now, Simpson would know that this is good for his championship. So would he risk going for the win? It's going to be a difficult one.
Well, Dunker actually just set his fastest lap of the race, a 15.770. It's only a tenth or two of a second off the fastest lap of the race set earlier on by Littrus. And here it is. You mentioned the great drive out of the corner. He just breezed on past Nelson as they went down towards turn 1 for the first time. That was an unbelievable run there into AWMF corner for the rider on board bike number 3, Cameron Dunker.
Dunker leads the way at the moment with Hayden Nelson behind him.
Good news that Bramage has actually resumed now too, Steve.
Yeah, it took him a while to get that bike going. Ty Lynch moved up another spot because of that. He's in 10th now behind.
Oh, no, it's a big crash for Nelson, is it?
Oh.
That is Nelson. That's a massive crash at the bottom of the hill. I think it's turn 9 again, the fastest corner that has claimed the rider on board bike number 279. So it is Dunker and Simpson with Littrus now looking to be on track to head towards the podium. But it is Dunker with a couple of tenths of a second lead over Ollie Simpson. It's actually 0.298 of a second as we start the 14th lap. It is the final lap, and it is Cameron Dunker getting it all loose on the exit of Alpine Stars corner. Is that a red flag? Red flag, Steve.
Yeah, looks like a red flag so that they can attend to Hayden Nelson. That was a big one. And looks like there could be oil on the track, which has caused that issue. Yeah, unfortunate.
Well, thank you to the hard-working marshals who have, well, they had a bit of work to do in that job, Steve, with a few crashes. Of course, Ty Lynch went down early. Tom Bramage as well had some issues. But looks like Cameron Dunker will take another race win. That will make it 3 race wins for the young man from the Hunter Valley.
Yeah, Jake Farnsworth, we didn't talk much about him, but he moved himself up into that 4th position too. So, sorry, 5th position. Jonathan Nalos was in 4th. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how this rounds out because they probably will take the positions back.
Yeah, back to the previous lap. And of course, unfortunately, the race has been declared. So that was a very good performance so far from Hayden Nelson, but that was a massive crash at the bottom of the hill there. Let's hope that not only is he okay, but also that the bike can be made ready for this afternoon's race as well, where he looked to be on track to be on the podium.
Don't think they're going to be making that bike ready anytime soon.
So it would have been his first podium for the year as well. His previous best result was a 4th place in round 3 at the first round of the championship at Phillip Island. But you can see there the majestic views from the drone over Morgan Park Raceway, the pit complex, and back into the town of Warwick. Massive thanks also to the Southern Downs Regional Council, who's done a lot of work in combination with the circuit owners to make sure that this track is improving every day. And there is the confirmed results. Cameron Dunker takes the win from Ollie Simpson by 0.298 of a second, with the reigning champion John Littrus scoring his first podium, or his 3rd podium of the year in 3rd place. Jonathan Nalos takes 4th, Jake Farnsworth up to 5th, Hayden Nelson, well, he's back there in 6th place, but I'm not sure that that will stay there, with Luca Durning, Jack Cavell, Tarbin Walker and Ty Lynch rounding out the top 10.
Declan Carberry in 11th, Ben Baker in 12th, but boy, what a race that was.
So maybe it wasn't the incident involving Nelson that caused the red flag, and that's why he's in there. That maybe the oil was left there by somebody else, and that's the reason why they've left Nelson in the results. As we check out the Honda highlights of the first of our Michelin SuperSport races, and it was a great start for everyone on the first 2 rows of the grid. But how was Ollie Simpson from row 3 on board bike number 45 on the charge early?
Yeah, great start from him, but boy, Hayden Nelson, he made the most of that start. And he knew that he had the pace to do it. Cam Dunker was up there too, though. All the major players in the championship, Ty Lynch as well, was right up there and led the way early on. Made his way through to the front until we started to have fallers. Glenn Nelson went down, just lost the front in turn 9, one of the first fallers there. Then this happened. Ty Lynch lost it right round the corner. Cam Dunker had to get on the brakes. Ollie Simpson threaded the eye of the needle but made his way through.
Yeah, Ty Lynch had made his intentions quite clear early on that he was going to push to the limit. And he did just that. Unfortunately, he went down, but it was Ollie Simpson and Cameron Dunker that were having a great battle out front, but also Tom Bramich was well and truly in this battle as well, as at the same time the reigning champion, John Littris, on board bike number 1, was charging forward as well.
What about Hayden Nelson, though? Sitting in 5th for most of that race. With a few laps to go, he put his plan into action and started making his way through the pack. Dunker wide, and that set up the moment when the number 279 made his way to the front.
Yeah, he just seemed to go from 3rd place into the lead with very, very short order. You can see him there going around the outside of Ollie Simpson. And unfortunately, there was some fluid on the track. We saw a big crash from Nelson, and the race was declared with Cameron Dunker taking the race win. Time to head down to the AMX Superstores podium with Chris Vermeulen.
John Littris, sorry, 3rd place man. Qualifying didn't go to plan yesterday, but you're fastest man on Friday. You're happy to be back on the podium?
Yeah, mate. It was a tough race. There was a lot of carnage out there, and I tried to stay out of it a little bit. But to be honest, I need to improve on making the passes. I struggled to make passes that race a lot. So I got the speed. I just got to work out how I'm going to get by. So yeah, it was a good, fun race, and cheers to everyone that kicks me out there.
And so some big changes on the bike, or just in riding?
I think I just got to do things better with myself. The bike feels pretty good. The team's given me a great bike to start with. So we'll see how we go in this next one and see if we can make things better.
Good luck from one Queenslander to another. I wish you all the best in the next one. We got 2nd place. Here comes Ollie Simpson. Ollie, yesterday, I mean, 3rd row of the grid. If that was me, I was a bit worried. I saw you yesterday. You said, nah, it'll be all right. I'll get a good start, and you proved us all right. Must be very happy with 2nd place.
Yeah, no, definitely a good result coming from 7th on the grid. I knew I'm a good starter and a good first lap, so I played that to my advantage, I think, and just got into a good rhythm with the other front boys, and yeah, just sort of got to the front and sort of, knew they were behind me, so sort of just swapped a little bit and then was trying to save a little bit for that last lap. Unfortunately, got red flag, but you can only do what you can do.
So what are you going to do to beat these young kids?
Go faster. Simple as that. No, I think it's just a matter of, literally just overtaking out the right moments and just, saving a bit to the last lap.
Yeah. Well, we wish you all the best for the next one, and we'll see you up here again, I'm sure. And the man of the moment, the first 3-time winner in this class for this year, a rookie again, Cameron Dunker. I mean, you rode that really well. A few mistakes in there, a few run wides, but looked difficult, but you managed the situation. Yeah,
it was a difficult race. I made a few mistakes, after passing, got dragged with a bit of slipstream and whatnot, but I'm happy to be here, especially those last few laps were pretty scary with all the oil, but I can't thank my team enough after yesterday, all my sponsors and everyone who helps me get here.
Well, we congratulate you for this one and wish you all the best for the next one.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Chris. I really feel for Hayden Nelson because he has been riding so well all weekend, and I know that he's going to come back stronger at the next round at Phillip Island, Steve, because he's proven this weekend that he certainly has got the pace to run at the front, and then proved it in race number 1 as well.
Definitely a tough boy.
Getting ready now for the start of Michelin SuperSport race number 2. It is Hayden Nelson that will be not starting from pole position. That leaves Ty Lynch and Cameron Dunker on the front row of the grid.
Tom Bramich in 4th. 5th is Jonathan Naylor and John Littris, last year's championship, in 6th.
Ollie Simpson, Dallas Skier and Glenn Nelson on row 3 with Scott Nicholson, Jake Farnsworth, who rode incredibly well in race number 1, and Reece Orchard on row 4.
Tarbin Walker, Jack Passfield and Jack Favell in 15th. Luca Durning, Declan Carberry from South Australia and Ben Baker in 18th.
Yeah, Ben Baker's been having a difficult weekend. Let's hope he can get a race finish under his belt and go home with a little bit more confidence for the next round at Phillip Island. Bit of a break between Morgan Park and Phillip Island rounds, so I'm sure that all of the riders will be doing a fair bit of work, and Hayden Nelson will have plenty of time to get that bike ready. But there, unfortunately, is the vacant grid position, number 1, as the red flag leaves the front of the grid. Michelin SuperSport is ready to go for race 2. SuperSport is go. Great start there from the 2 riders on the first row of the grid, but look at Ollie Simpson. He's done it after CC's, and he's charging up the inside. He'll be up into 3rd place, no 4th as they go in towards turn 1. What about the start from JJ? Jonathan Naylor's on board bike number 20. He's up into 3rd place, Steve.
It's going to be interesting to see how Ty Lynch handles this, though. Remember, he's got a shoulder that's popping in and out. He's in a lot of pain. The last lap he did around this track was on the ground, but I'll tell you what, he's back out the front.
Ollie Simpson's up into 3rd, getting the better of JJ down into the motor corner. A I tell you who's on a 12. Scott Nicholson, very much out of control. Brock Pearson style as they came out of Pirelli corner. But who's on a charge early? It is John Littress. He's made up quite a few grid positions already, and he's sitting back in about 4th or 5th position on board bike number 1. He's the reigning champion. He has not won a race this year. Very similar to what Mike Jones has done in the Superbike category. And Littress and Jones will have to be pretty strong favourites in race 2 to try and make that a first win for the year for the two Queenslanders that took out their relative championships last year.
Good to see Tom Bramich up in that top 6 too. He was a faller last time out. So Bramich is up and recovered and sits just behind John Littress.
Yeah, and Bramich showed a lot of speed in race 1 too, so probably sitting a little bit further back than we would have expected, considering that speed that he showed in race number 1 earlier on today. Right behind Tom Bramich is also Dallas Skier, who's had a pretty quiet weekend by the expectations of the South Australian. He's usually somewhere near the front of this field, but it is still the South Australian Ty Lynch that leads.
This class has been so tight in the lap times. Between the top 10, there was less than 0.8 of a second in qualifying. And I really do think we're going to see quite a big group together in this race for a decent amount of time.
Well, race 1 earlier on today was also the 50th Supersport race start for both Ty Lynch and Scott Nicholson as well. So we've got some very experienced campaigners in this field. But as you saw from that piece before, we've also got Cameron Dunker, first year in the Supersport category, and Ollie Simpson, first full season in the Supersport category after rising up through the junior ranks and then heading off overseas, having a couple of years off. But he's come back very strong, has Ollie Simpson, and he's sitting there in 3rd place on board bike number 45, the Simpson Crash Machine. Sitting back in 4th place now is Littress, who's closing up onto the back of Ollie Simpson, if anything, as they come down through that fast part of the circuit towards Michelin Corner Turn 10. Been a scene of plenty of action at the bottom of the circuit so far this weekend. And Cameron Dunker leads them through the S's and out of Ducati Corner and onto the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start-finish straight to complete the first flying lap.
Yeah, Cam Dunker, he's quiet off the track, but I'll tell you what, he's an animal when he gets behind the handlebars, isn't he? He really knows how to ride a bike with the little experience he's got on these 600s. I mean, he is doing a fantastic job out there.
Fastest man on the first flying lap was Littress with a 16.223. So all of the riders in the top 8, all in the 16, Steve.
Yep, it's Ty Lynch falls back another spot. Ollie Simpson into that 2nd spot now. You just see there's Jonathan Nalis out on the right-hand side and under brakes. Look at Ollie Simpson. Look how out of control he is, but he holds it, just misses the back of Ty Lynch.
Well, we know there's a few bumps heading in towards turn 1 there, and I think Ollie Simpson, completely on the edge, managed to hit every single one of them and still tip the bike into the corner and maintain good corner speed. So a great display of riding there. Once again, Nicholson getting a little bit untidy on the exit of Yamaha Financial Services corner.
Good mid-corner speed there from Simpson on the number 45 machine as well.
Good to see Nelson hanging onto the back of this group as well. That's Glenn Nelson on board bike number 9 in 8th position. Well, you can see him just coming into the camera there as we go up the hill through Yamaha Financial Services and out onto the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start-finish straight. Look at Simpson, pulls to the inside. He doesn't want the slipstream from Cameron Dunker as they make their way down into AMMF corner. And now Ty Lynch is coming under a fair amount of pressure from Littress on board the Caboolture Yamaha Sol Invictus entry. Bike number 1, the reigning champion.
Nice move up the inside by Simpson. Did you see that? That was beautiful.
That was Mike Jones-esque. It was so smooth. He just didn't even look like he was pushing to the limit. Went straight up the inside of Cameron Dunker through one of the, well, you'd have to say, one of the bravest corners to launch a manoeuvre like that on.
Absolutely. Completely blind on the entry there. So good move, good judgment. Just to nip up the inside of Cam Dunker there. Good drive out of there too.
Well, the top 8 are not covered by very much here, Steve, but the top 4 have just got that couple of bike length gap now over Tom Bramich, sitting in 5th position on board the Apex Group Bear Bird machine. Here it is, an AMX Superstores replay. Dunker was a fraction wide. Simpson needed no second invitation to go straight up the inside. As you mentioned, he would not have been able to see much of the corner there at all. He would have been fully focused, not watching what Cameron Dunker was doing, and just went straight through the inside to take up the running at the front of this field.
Yeah, he's definitely a class rider, and if you think back a few years, Red Bull rookie rider, he knows how to race in close racing.
There goes Littress up the inside of Ty Lynch. As we said, Ty Lynch, no stranger to riding injured. Is doing a great job to hang on there in 4th place, with Littress now moving up into 3rd. He's going to come under a fair amount of tension now from another one of the experienced campaigners, Tom Bramich, is Ty Lynch. Look at Littress, bike's moving around. I think that's a fair indication of how hard Johnny Littress is actually pushing, although Simpson has done the fastest lap of the race with a 16.0. An update from Chris.
Yeah, down here in the pits, I was just talking to the Michelin guys. Well, Alex Briggs, he used to be a Valentino Rossi mechanic, obviously, so he knows what he's talking about. But the main guy at the front is Ty Lynch on the Michelins, and he said that tyre really doesn't come in for 4 or 5 laps. He made a mistake in race 1, crashing too early, pushing too hard before the tyre came in. So look for the Michelin guy at the end of the race. They think they'll have an advantage over the Pirellis, but just remember he's got a dislocated shoulder, or have had. So let's see how he goes.
Well, thanks for the update, Chris. We'll keep an eye on Ty Lynch. All he's got to do, Steve, is just try and stay with this this lead group and wait for those dying stages of the race where hopefully he might have a package that's superior and allow him to move forward.
Yeah, just looking at his body language on that bike, though, I just feel that he's just gritting his teeth a little bit too much at the moment. I reckon he's in a decent amount of pain. Anyone who's ever hurt a shoulder knows how painful that is. You can just see it there as he enters there where you need the full strength of that shoulder. He does look slower than everyone else at that point, so I take my hat off to him for being out there. He's doing a good job, but I think he's gritting his teeth in this one.
But also, too, over the bumps, especially here at this part of the circuit, is the most physical part of the circuit as well. So doing a great job is Ty Lynch on board the Unitec machine, bike number 85. Of course, all the South Australians doing a pretty good job this weekend across all classes. And this race is actually being led by a South Australian, Ollie Simpson, on board bike number 45.
Well, there's Ollie's dad just on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. I think that was there. Yeah, all the parents looking on, watching what's happening on track.
Littress, a 15.713 on board his machine, bike number 1 on lap 5. That is the fastest lap of the race so far. In fact, the top 3 were all in the 15s, but Littress was just that 1/10 of a second faster as Cameron Dunker has a big look over the shoulder. And all he saw was bike number 1. He knows that Littress is good around this circuit. So he wants to just concentrate on what's happening in front of him and not worry about Littress, because we know that Littress is going to have a go. He tries to go to the inside, couldn't quite get up there close enough to...
Bramich. Good move there by Tom Bramich.
That was a big move on the brakes.
And that puts Ty Lynch back another spot. He really dug deep there to Bramich to get through. I was just about to say before, though, that Bramich is actually starting to look comfortable. He had that off earlier on. Looks like it's taken him a couple of laps to settle himself down, but now he's got a little bit of clear space. Let's see if he can catch up to this group of 3. I'm sure that he'd love to get a podium here today.
We see a rider going down there. I think that might be Tarbin Walker on board bike number 21. That's the Team BWR machine. And unfortunately, Tarbin looks like he might be trying to get the bike going. Let's hope he can get it over and get to a finish in this race.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Tarbin Walker. That's down at turn 6 where he's fallen off. But meanwhile, back out front, not so attacking this time as Cam Dunker as they head into the modal corner there. Here we go, here's Tarbin Walker's crash on the AMX replay. He's tipped in a long way around the corner, fairly similar to what happened to Ty Lynch. Just lost the front. There's quite a few bumps tight on the inside. He was probably a little bit tight there, and down he went.
Just going to keep an eye on our lap times at the end of this lap, because it looks like Ollie Simpson may have just picked up the pace a fraction, and Cameron Dunker is now trying to respond. They come down through the bottom of the hill. The gap is probably bigger between riders 1, 2 and 3 than what it has been over the last couple of laps. We saw on the last lap it was Ty Lynch and Tom Bramich that were just a fraction faster than the top 3 riders. That's why that group had closed up on that last lap, Steve. But it looks like on this one, if Bramich, if anything, has just been dropped off the back a fraction.
Well, that's because Ty Lynch went back past Tom Bramich. Like, Bramich was right on the back. He's either made a mistake, something's gone wrong.
Yeah, Bramich back to a 17 once. They were full second of the lap slower than what Ty Lynch was on that one.
So something's happened there with Tom Bramich, unfortunately for him, because he was looking strong. Perhaps I mean, to me, he looked like he was in a position where he's going to try and make a pass. But look at Lynch now. He is getting desperate.
No, this is Ty Lynch back to his usual form. The shoulder is the least of his concerns now.
Yeah.
He's got his concentration fully on. He was the fastest man in the top 5 on the last lap was Ty Lynch. And I think if John Littress is not careful, he's going to find bike number 85 trying to slide his way past. He's up the inside, but couldn't quite get the drive out of Honda corner. That was the scene of his crash in race number 1. Oh, Ollie Simpson, that's a big wheelie. That's going to compromise his drive down through the fastest area of the circuit. Can Cameron Dunker launch an attack as they get to Michelin corner turn 10? He's closed up incredibly, has Dunker. That was a big wheelie from Ollie Simpson as Dunker tries up the inside. Can't quite get the job done.
Yeah, Duncan knows he's got to start making a move now, just with 3 laps left to go in this one.
Well, if anything, John Littress needs to get a bit of a wriggle on as well, because I think Ty Lynch is building a full head of steam. He's dropped back a little bit on that final sector of the last lap. Let's have a look at the lap times. We've seen Simpson and Dunker back into the 15s. So was Ty Lynch in the 15s to 15.989 as Dunker takes the lead from Ollie Simpson. Littress tries to go around the outside. So we're heading down towards Motul, and will Ty Lynch try and get up the inside? No, he goes to the outside.
Well, we're going to see what Ollie Simpson has got now, because he's led this race for quite a while. The others have seen what he can do. Dunker's gone to the front. Now, Dunker has got to put the hammer down, try and pull away if he can. And
see how out of control Simpson was there into a Honda corner, the back end of the bike waving around everywhere. We have a look at the AMX Superstore's replay of the manoeuvre put on Ollie Simpson for the race lead by Cameron Dunker. As smooth as you like in there, bike moving around all over the place. And Dunker just says, thank you very much, straight up the inside and into the race lead with only a few laps to go.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like he's got a bike length there, but it is down to these 4 guys. Tom Bramich right off the back of this group now.
And Ty Lynch having another big look at Littress.
Yeah, he won't want to finish in that 4th position. He's close now, and it looks like, yeah, Alex Briggs right on the money. The grip's come in now on that rear tyre, and he is there. Loses a little bit of drive out of the final corner, but nevertheless, ready to pick up the pieces is Ty Lynch.
Well, and as we said, if anyone's used to riding injured, it is Ty Lynch, so I think he's just put that to the back of his mind now. Was that Dunker running wide?
Yeah, and up the inside. What a move.
Oh.
And Littress as well. Littress goes through. Look at that. John Littress leads the race.
Momentarily, but it's Simpson back into the lead. Littress into second. Dunker from the lead back to third. There was 4 changes of the lead in the space of a couple of corners there. And he's now getting very, very interesting, Steve, because we are on lap 13 of 14.
Did somebody tell them, Phil, that this is not the last lap yet?
No, it's not the last lap yet, but they're all trying to set themselves up for the last lap.
And there goes Lynch. Ty Lynch up the inside on the AMX replay. There we go. Dunker goes through. Has a bit of a bobble on the exit there. You can see that set him up, and that was the invitation for the number 45. Ollie Simpson goes, yep, but he ran wide, which allowed John Littress to go down the outside. Simpson outbraked him, but in the meantime, we've got more action on track.
Ty Lynch is up to 3rd place. Yep. Dunker is back to 4th. Simpson back into the lead, and Littress, the reigning champion, looking for his first victory of the year, is up into 2nd place. As we get the last lap board, Steve, we've only got 1 lap to go now. It is Simpson that leads, but Littress is coming up the inside. Is he going to get the race lead over the bumps? No, he can't quite get the job done. So it is still Simpson. He loves this part of the circuit. He's shown he's very good through turn 3. Can he hold it through here? Littress is going to come back hard on the brakes, and Ty Lynch well and truly in contention for the race win as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Down the hill they go. On the inside is John Littress. He hits the brakes, but it's hard to outbrake Simpson there. Stays tight. Cam Dunker on the back, a little bit less mid-corner speed there. Ty Lynch in the background, hanging on, and Littress looking up the inside. He's left a little bit of a gap there, but there's nothing they can do there. Boy, this is close.
I reckon Ty Lynch is going to try and set one up here as they go through Yamaha. No, can't quite get the job done. Lynch is going to have to try and do it at the bottom of the hill, but Littress's bike looks a lot more untidy than what Ollie Simpson's bike does. It looks very smooth as they come down through the fastest area of the circuit. Can Littress pull something out of the bag now as they come to the fastest area? He can't. It's going to have to be turn 10 or the final run through the S's and to the start-finish line. I think Simpson might have this one, Steve. Look how smooth he is out of there. Littress's bike is all over the show as they come out of the final run up the hill. It is still into financial services. Ollie Simpson's going to take the weight for him. I don't think Littress can come back at him from here. Oh, no, he goes to the inside. Has that compromised his drive? I think he may have just got it. But when he went to the inside, he would have had to do a little bit extra distance, and Littress was getting straight for the line. I thought he might have got it from there as Dallas Gear comes across the line. The eventual margin, Steve, 0.024 of a second for Ollie Simpson. Wow, what a race.
Pretty cool, huh?
Oh, it's better than pretty cool. That was absolutely sensational. So I reckon Littrus will be happy with that one. To be back and challenging for that race win, I thought Ollie Simpson had it all covered. Then when he started to pull to the inside, I thought, no, Littrus is going to get this. He's going to power to the line with the shortest possible distance. But he managed to hang on by the smallest possible margin, 0.24 of a second for Ollie Simpson. Ty Lynch, a brave ride from Ty Lynch to take out the final spot on the podium, and Cameron Dunker relegated back to fourth after an incredibly exciting last couple of laps. Congratulations to Ollie Simpson, John Littrus and Ty Lynch. They'll be down in the AMX Superstores podium very shortly with Chris Vermeulen, and Cameron Dunker in fourth. Jonathan Nalos, his best ride in the championship so far, in fifth place. Tom Bramich in sixth. Dallas Skier in seventh. Jake Farnsworth in eighth. Glenn Nelson finishes in ninth position, and also Scott Nicholson having his 51st start in the Michelin SuperSport category rounds out the top 10.
Jack Passfield there in 11th. 12th is Jack Vavell. Ben Baker made his way forward in 13th. 14th was Declan Carberry. 15th was Reece Orchard from Victoria, and Tarvin Walker there didn't finish the race.
Well, the Honda highlights, and weren't there some? Of course, we know that Hayden Nelson didn't start from pole position. The bike was too damaged after race one crash. But as they came down towards turn one for the first time, it was the injured guy, Ty Lynch, with a dislocated shoulder, riding bravely in this second race after a big crash in race number one that led the field through turn 1 and 2 for the first time.
Yeah, he certainly got a good start, and he didn't have it for long though, because Ollie Simpson played this perfect move up the inside on Cam Dunker, took the lead there. Boy, he was good at that part of the circuit. Ollie Simpson really wanted this one. Dunker right there. Lynch was hanging on for as much as he could. He had trouble with that shoulder. Tom Bramich had work to do too. He made his way forward and caught up to that group of three in front. Tarvin Walker, well, his day ended early, down in the dust.
Yeah, not good news for the Team BWR rider as he crashed out. But Ollie Simpson, Cameron Dunker, John Littrus and Ty Lynch were putting on a show at the front. Look at that manoeuvre from Cameron Dunker through AMF corner, over all of the bumps, still managed to get the bike stopped and turned and take up the race winning at the front. But it was about this time that Ty Lynch was starting to set fastest laps, despite having an injured shoulder and also a completely different tyre setup to the rest of the riders. Dunker had a big moment out of turn 2. Ollie Simpson went up the inside, and then Littrus came back as well. All three of them led the race momentarily in the space of a couple of corners.
Yeah, there wasn't much in that one, was there? Any one of these four could have won this at this point. Ollie Simpson's bike was moving around all over the place. Ty Lynch was trying everything he could to make his way forward, and over the line it was as close as it could be.
Yeah, when Simpson pulled to the left-hand side there, I thought that he may have just handed the race win to Littrus, who was taking a more direct line to the race finish. But it was Ollie Simpson that ended up taking the race win, and he's in the AMX Superstores Park for May area.
Yeah, well, I'm just waiting for the guys to come over. Everyone's very excited from that race. Who wouldn't be? So I'll just wander over. I've got to do some work now. Ty Lynch, you're making me walk. Come this way with me. We'll get in front of, we'll get all the sponsors out there. But, I mean, we saw you on the grid. Yeah. I know you're in a lot of pain. Man, you're tough. How are you feeling now?
Pretty second rate, honestly. Yeah, that was hard work. It was one of those things. The tyre really came into play at about lap 10. I wish our races were a bit longer. If we had 20-lap races, it would have been game on. But, yeah, no, the boys rode awesome. It was a sick battle the whole way. So that's what we're here for. We're here to, battle it out and have a bit of fun. So fantastic.
I've enjoyed watching you this weekend. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, Chris.
And, well, I mean, what a race. That was bravery to come through, wasn't it? But and they're all congratulating each other back here. But Johnny Littrus, I mean, that was a good go, mate. That was a very good go. Well-deserved second place. Less than a tenth of a second. So close to win.
Yeah, look, it was a sick race, to be honest. Like, to come from the poor qualifying we had, I'm pretty happy with the weekend, to be honest. We made the most of our mistakes in qualifying and come back with some decent results. So, look, I'm just happy to be back at the front again and finally got some form back. Been battling a little bit of demons lately, but we're back at the front again. I'm happy to try and keep staying here.
Well, you got that number 1 plate for a reason, so good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, mate.
Good on you. And obviously the race winner wasn't it close. I'm going to have to go down and grab him. He's South Australian. He's just like Steve Martin. Doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to come over when he's told. But Ollie Simpson, man, you didn't have the pace most of the weekend. To be honest, you looked like you weren't too worried. I was more worried for you, but you led that race. When anyone got in front, you got back in front of them.
Yeah, look, I was really struggling at the start of the weekend. Obviously, I hadn't ridden here in 12 years, and I don't know, the racing, I've always been a racer, and yeah, I just tried charging as hard as I could and sort of just tried setting the pace, and if anyone tried coming past me, I'd sort of fire back as soon as possible just to make sure they couldn't get a gap on me or anything like that. And yeah, I think that just come down to racecraft, me winning today, I think.
Well, it was done perfectly. Congratulations, mate, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, cheers, thanks for that.
Well, congratulations to Ollie Simpson, John Limpers and Ty Lynch, the top three in Michelin SuperSport race number 2. The championship now looks this way. Ollie Simpson has a 13-point lead over Cameron Dunker, 164 to 151. Ty Lynch maintains third position on 147, still well and truly in the mix. Littrus has moved up into fourth place on 122. Jack Passfield in fifth on 102. Tom Bramage has slipped back to sixth on 101. Dallas Skier in seventh. Scott Nicholson in eighth. Hayden Nelson in ninth. And Jake Farnsworth rounds out your championship top 10 with 2 more rounds and 4 races to go in the 2023 Michelin SuperSport Championship season. Of course, there's 2 rounds of the 2023 calendar to go. We move now to Phillip Island Grand Prix Circuit on the 27th to the 29th of October, and then to the Ben Motorsport Park on the 1st to the 3rd of December for the final round of the championship. 4 more races to decide who will be the 2023 ASBK champions. Plenty more action coming up in the in the off-road championship as well. Rounds 7 and 8 at Kyneton in South Australia on the 26th and 27th of August. Then it's Kyogle for rounds 9 and 10 in New South Wales on the 16th and 17th of September. And Dungog in New South Wales, the final 2 rounds, round 11 and 12 on the 14th to the 15th of October. ProMX is shaping up for a great 2 final rounds as well, the 13th of August. Not too long to wait at Queensland Moto Park, where you could very well see a guest appearance from Troy Herfoss, the round winner here this weekend. And the final round only a week later on the 19th to the 20th of August at Coolum, also in Queensland. Well, it's been a great weekend here of racing from Morgan Park, the 5th round of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul. Troy Herfoss goes away happy. Brendan Demery not too happy at all, as you can see there, after crashing out of one of the Supersport 300 races. But we have a little break now until Phillip Island, where we will be back to resume the Championship Challenge with 4 races to go. This broadcast is in memory of Damon Rees, a well-known figure in the ASBK paddock. We send our condolences to Damon's friends and family.